It's life. It's beautiful. It's a mess, but I love abstract art. Yeah, so, you know, maybe that's what life really is. Hello, my kako. Welcome back. How's it? How you doing? Hope all is well. Trying to find a background I like here. There we go, I guess. Anyway, today I was gonna talk briefly about a conversation I had recently. I was working an event this past weekend, and it was pretty interesting because I ran into an old training partner who I haven't seen in a long time, and we were talking stories, and he, shared I guess a lot of the process why I haven't been training. I mean, what kind of kicked it off for me, right, was my dad passed and then COVID happened, and then I went back in the beginning of this year for a little bit, and that didn't really work out too well for me. And so it's not that I don't love it anymore or don't want to do it. It's just a matter of reclaiming the habit, which is something that I'm planning to work on in 2022. Yeah, I was talking about my dad passing, and he mentioned, oh, how you doing with that? And he asked me that question. And I was kind of taken aback because I wasn't really in a headspace to think too deeply on it, because I was like in the middle of full on like work promote mode, right? And thank God I got the gift to be able to turn it off and on. I went into it and I just shared how I felt, and some days are good. I mean, don't get me wrong, I wish we could talk stories on this side of the veil and hang out and all kinds of stuff, but that's not what it is, right? Especially when people pass. Yeah, it's hard. It gets easier, but it's still hard. One of the things that Bev shared with me that she saw was this meme that I might have talked about in the past. To be honest, I don't remember because I'm kind of infrequent nowadays with posting here. Sorry. But she's like, the grief never goes away. You just grow around it. And that's what the gist of this thing was. And it used this image of a jar. And in the beginning, the jar is full. But then each year, or as each season continues, the jar grows. But the size of what was originally in there, it's the same. And I think that's a very astute observation about the process of losing a loved one for a lot of reasons. I do feel like I've grown so much in the past almost 2 years. It's just hard to believe. I guess I'm tripping right now because when I began this process of vlogging, it was still fresh as we approached 1 year. So, and then going into holidays. I mean, obviously in the holidays, you think about family and times past and different things. And I think what's so fascinating for me right now too is just, it's just more and more telling like how you gotta cherish everything. How there's a lot of things that just don't even matter, just kind of get back to what's important. I think that's different for everybody. There are some things I think that are pretty universal when it comes to importance, like making sure you're taking care of your health, you're treating your loved ones with love and respect, and you're doing that first and foremost for yourself, because if you cannot love and respect yourself, you cannot share that with anybody else. But it's just such a trip, man. I mean, I don't feel old. I know I'm not young anymore. You can see I'm starting to get more grays in my beard, but I feel good. I feel good to be alive. My voice is a little scratchy because I caught something. It wasn't COVID. I tested just to be on the safe side. For the most part, man, I've been so gifted with health. I was able to move from a job that took care of me for a really long time into a job that's even more fulfilling and rewarding, and I have the ability to help even more people. I'm still working on developing as an artist, as a human. I have a great partner. We have a home. We have just all these things basically that are adding to our life and our experience. And we're kind of in this position now where as long as we keep moving forward and working on ourselves and showing up in life, that for the most part, we're probably gonna be able to figure it out. And so many people can't say that. And that's something that I don't take for granted at all. So I think as I continue on the journey, the thing I thought of too is, shit, I know it's like to sleep on the floor and not have a bed. I know it's like to not have a home and sleep on someone's couch. Fortunately, I never had to sleep on car, on the streets. A missed roll of the dice, and you know, who knows what could have been, or a couple more poor decisions, because believe you me, I'm human. I've made my fair share of mistakes and poor decisions, and who knows what it would have been. And that's something that every day you're still trying to figure out, you're still trying to improve, and just being able to share that with Dad and be able to get some feedback. It was really interesting when that brother asked me how I was doing, and you know, in part because he lost his dad a few years ago and he's still processing. And something he shared with me was he recognizes how much he feels like his dad lives on through him. And it was really interesting because actually our conversation ended because his mom called him, and there's something he had to go and do. So there's ways things unfold, ways things work themselves out, and if we're alive, we gotta be a part of figuring out that and seeing how it goes, right? Wherever you are in the universe, Dad, the metaverse, because is this really real? Another story for another day. I've talked about quantum shifting in the past, but lately, bro, unreal. This life is beautiful. It's a mess, but I love abstract art. So, you know, maybe that's what life really is. It's just an abstract thing, and we gotta interpret the meaning as we go. So with that, I hope this holiday season is a beautiful one for you, whoever you are, wherever you are, and thanks for being out there. Shoots.